If stories of love, betrayal, and painful revelations capture your attention, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to join this little circle of storytelling. Now, here's my story. I never set out to ruin my life with one reckless choice, but that's exactly what happened. A single mistake, one night I can't take back, turned me into the very person I always swore I'd never become. It began with silence. Not the calm, comforting kind, but the heavy, suffocating kind that eats away at a marriage. Owen and I had been together for 6 years, married for 4. On the outside, things looked almost picture-perfect. A cozy house with a red front door, steady jobs, Friday dinners with friends, even a shared Spotify playlist. But behind closed doors, we were just shadows drifting past each other. We didn't argue anymore. Not because we were happy, but because neither of us had the energy to fight. I don't say this as an excuse, because what I did has no defense. I share it so you'll understand how invisible I felt, how empty things had become. The man I betrayed Owen with was named Drew. He worked in marketing at a company that shared our building. At first, I barely noticed him, but he noticed me. The first time he smiled at me in the elevator, it sparked something I hadn't felt in years. It started with small, meaningless moments, bumping into each other at the coffee shop, sharing silly memes, laughing about late deadlines. Then one evening after a long meeting, it happened. There was no plan, no romance, just a desperate impulse. A moment I'd replay endlessly later, wishing I had simply walked away. I can still hear the buzz of my phone on the hotel nightstand while I was tangled in sheets with someone who wasn't my husband. A message from Owen lit up the screen. Dinner tonight. I'll grab Ty. I never responded. I swore to myself it was a one-time lapse, a horrible mistake I would carry silently but never repeat. But I did, twice more. And soon, I began lying to myself. I told myself I deserved to feel alive again. That if Owen really cared, he would have noticed me slipping away. That Drew cared for me in ways Owen hadn't in years. None of it was true. Everything collapsed one Tuesday morning. Owen discovered the messages. Not the graphic ones, just enough flirtation to crush him. I came home to find him sitting on the couch, my iPad open in his lap. He didn't scream. He didn't cry. He simply looked at me and asked, "How long?" I couldn't lie. I didn't even try. That same night, he packed a bag and left. The sound of the door closing was so soft, yet it echoed through my chest like a scream. The aftermath was brutal. Friends were stunned. My sister cut me off completely. My parents tried to be supportive, but even they couldn't mask their disappointment. I hadn't just lost a husband. I'd lost respect, trust, my sense of belonging. And Drew? He vanished a week later. No explanation, no dramatic goodbye, just a slow fade until he stopped responding altogether. I was nothing more than a distraction to him. That's when the regret set in. Not as a sudden blow, but like water seeping into a crack, spreading quietly until it was everywhere. I'd be brushing my teeth and suddenly remember Owen making me laugh until tears rolled down my cheeks. Or walking home and think of the Sundays when he'd bring me coffee in bed. Regret became the soundtrack of my life. I went to therapy. I wrote in journals. I cried harder in those first 2 months than I had in 5 years. But none of it could undo what I had destroyed. What cuts the deepest is knowing that Owen would have fought for us, if I had just told him I was unhappy. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't abusive. He was distant, but so was I. We could have tried counseling. We could have taken a trip, or even just had one brutally honest conversation. Instead, I chose the nuclear option. Months slipped by. I reached out once, not to beg him back, only to say I was sorry. His reply was just 2 words, "I know." That was the end of it. Every now and then, I see him in photos on mutual friends' social media. He looks lighter, freer, happier. He's dating someone new, a woman named Elise. She seems kind. I hope she truly is. As for me, I've learned to carry the weight of my choices. Not as a punishment, but as accountability. Regret on its own isn't enough. Change has to follow. I haven't been in a serious relationship since. Not because I don't want love again, but because I refuse to drag my brokenness into someone else's life until I know I've rebuilt myself. If you're listening to this and you're where I once was, tired, lonely, invisible, please, talk to your partner. Don't go searching for validation in someone else's arms. It will never be worth it. An affair won't silence the emptiness inside you. I cheated, and I regret it every single day.